morning. It's Rodney Allen Rippey, and you're watching the chat session on the This Way Network. I hope you're having a blessed Monday morning, and we have a great show today. I don't know where Nina's at. Hopefully, oh, here comes Nina. I see Nina. Here comes Nina. Yay!
Yay! I made
Nina,
it.
hey, Nina made it. Everything's perfect then. Okay, so we've got Nina here, my wonderful co-host. And we have Miss Marsha Morton. And I had the pleasure of meeting Marsha. She is the creator and founder of the Inner Beauty Pageant. And this is just a fantastic time. I was at another event, had the pleasure of meeting Marsha, and she started telling me about her work that she does. And so she's very, very important for many, many years. She's also been a part of the Children's Social Service Network here in the county of Los Angeles, helping families and caregivers and all these wonderful things. And so, but she has had a big heart about a project that she's been working on for many years. Welcome to the chat session, Marsha. How you
Thank
doing?
you. Thank you for having me, Rodney. I really appreciate it. Yeah.
Oh,
Good morning, Marsha. We are so glad you came on with us today. Thank you so much.
No, thank you for having me. I appreciate that. Yes.
well, how was your weekend, Nina? I was busy. I was trying to catch up with Marsha, and she was sending me important stuff. And but I'm glad we're here. I'm glad we're here.
Well, I had a great weekend too. So, not anything dramatic, but still very busy and fruitful, I think. So,
That's
so that
good.
was good. But I've been looking forward to meeting you, Marsha, because I've looked at some of the stuff that Rodney's been sending you, and this. Are you calling it a special project or is this a program? It sounds like it's an annual thing. Or are you
Yeah.
intending to make it something annual?
Well, yes, it is an annual program. We've been doing this since 2012. And
Oh, wow.
yes, the inspiration behind it was that, I was realizing that girls that needed self-esteem,
Mm-hmm.
back in the day, I've been working for the county for about 20 something odd years. And so
Mm-hmm.
back in the day, we used to have our girls that we would take to pick up dresses downtown for their
Mm-hmm.
prom. And so I would pick up girls and take them downtown to get dresses at the convention center.
Okay,
And
now
what was
let me interrupt you a minute because I got to ask. I feel like we're talking because we already know things and our audience knows nothing. So
oh
Yeah.
what girls are we talking about?
foster youth, because
Okay.
the population that I work with because I'm a county employee. So I would take girls downtown to get dresses for the prom. And so when
Hmm.
they would get the dresses, they would try them on and they would have a hard time with it because they all back in those days wanted to be Beyonce. So everybody wanted to have a Beyonce dress, but everybody didn't look the same in the Beyonce dress. So what
Hmm.
I would do is I start to realize that these girls would have meltdowns, serious meltdowns because they didn't look a certain way.
Oh
And I
no.
remember I
Mm.
had this one young girl that was, her girlfriend, other girls would put these dresses on and they would look fabulous in it. And she couldn't wear the dress. And it just, her self esteem went from a 100 to zero real fast. And I remember
Mm.
Mm.
getting her to try on a different type of dress, which was beautiful on it. She put the dress on and looked in the mirror and said, "I'm ugly." And that just broke my
Oh,
heart.
Mm.
That broke my heart.
wow.
So at that moment, a aha moment came in there. We've got to do better. Girls have to feel
Mm-hmm.
good about themselves before they can even put on a dress. They need to
Mm-hmm.
love the skin they're in. And
Yes.
that was my motivation then. And then I started the
Mm-hmm.
program, and we from that point on, every year, I was a collaboration with the Department of Children and Family Services, the
Mm-hmm.
community, as well as the church. We
Hmm.
collaborate and we put together this program. It's always a month long. We're going to extend it to 2 months, and we work together and we develop these workshops, self-esteem workshops for girls. We give them opportunities that they normally would not have
Hmm.
in regular,
Mm-hmm.
especially in
Mm-hmm.
foster care. So everything is free to the girls. The
Mm-hmm.
workshops are free. The pageant is called an inner beauty pageant, which is it's a combination of all the things they learned through the workshops. And then one
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
day they feel good about themselves. They get a dress, they get a crown, they get a sash, and then they get a chance to shine. And they
Mm.
tell us
Mm-hmm.
about what they learned through the experience. But
And
like
I'm
I
Mm-hmm.
excited. I'm excited because tell her, tell Nina. Tell her. Tell
He,
her.
Rodney has agreed to be the host for Interviewing 2024.
Oh,
Yeah.
yay.
I
Congratulations,
hey,
Rodney.
what an honor. Yeah,
Mhm.
when Marsha called me and asked me would I do it, my heart was just, I was really, I was just really happy to have an opportunity like that.
Mhm.
These young ladies and sometimes foster youth. And so these are things that I've been kind of on the fringes of that type of work because
Mhm.
through education and so working in certain programs, these young ladies also need career paths too. And so there's
Mhm.
also here in Los Angeles some young, I mean, well, these are women, but these are girls. They have a whole network of women who are highly into STEM. So they take
Mhm.
young
Mhm.
ladies like that and say, hey, listen, you can be in this pathway of science and technology and engineering and the arts and math and all these wonderful
Mhm.
things. And so I'm just honored to be able to be the host. And I'm looking forward. That's going to be on the 31st. I have actually, where is it? Actually, there was some information here. Yes, it's going to be the event is going to be on what date? Go ahead and tell us
Okay.
when it's going
So
to
the
be.
event is going to be August the 31st. It's going to be in Paramount. You guys
Mhm.
need the address. It's going to be 6850 Somerset Boulevard, and that's in Paramount. And it's going
Okay.
to be
Mhm.
from 7 to 9 on that day.
Mm-hmm.
Going to be a lot of great things happening. Again, you'll see the girls shine, all the things that they learned. They'll be
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
performing. Some of them, if they don't want to, they don't have to. But it's
Mm-hmm.
going to be a wonderful event. And again, this is this is be our 13th, 14th year doing this since 2012.
Wow.
And the girls we're excited. We hope to have at
Yeah.
least about 15 girls walking across the stage and
Mm-hmm.
shining.
Mhm.
And thank you so much, Rodney, for
Oh.
hosting because I mean, it's just, I'm just so happy.
Well, and
Isn't
it's
he a
going to
great
be
guy?
ages 12 to 21, correct?
Yes, correct. 12 to 21 years of age. The girls have been, like I said, working on their self-esteem. Hopefully, they get
Mm-hmm.
in front of the
Mhm.
mic. Sometimes they don't like being in front of that mic. It's hard for them. Hopefully, there's some of them will do their little talent, so to speak. And again,
Mm-hmm.
they're going to
Mhm.
shine because this past Saturday we gave out dresses. So all the girls have dresses,
Mhm.
shoes,
Mhm.
jewelry, everything else. We'll have makeup artists there for them, and it's going to be a wonderful event.
Now,
So yes.
now, is all of that paid for by the county, or are there donors that contribute to this?
We have a combination of everything. It's free for the girls, but what the department does is we collaborate with aftercare and
Mhm.
prevention funds that we have through the county, but also the church and also
Mhm.
communities programs that want to work without DCFS. So the
Community
partnership.
partners.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you have
Yeah.
community partners.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's
So
community
it's a
supported. I love
collaboration.
that.
Yes, it
So,
is a
so
collaboration.
Marcia, I'm really curious
Hmm.
about this. I want to talk more about the pageant itself, but I also want to ask you about the process leading up to it. Where do you start with a girl who looks in the mirror and doesn't like what she's seeing?
Right.
For whatever reason, how do you even begin that process?
It is a very difficult process, but with the workshops and the girls, the people that I work with, they are
Mm-hmm.
very dedicated. The churches are dedicated to bring out the self-esteem. Again, we have
Mhm.
a couple of shy girls out there today, to this day,
Mm-hmm.
that are like they're not that really comfortable in front of a
Mhm.
camera, especially along anything else.
Mhm.
So it starts with maybe workshops and different type of skills that we have with them and working with them individually to talk about them.
Mhm.
And again,
Mhm.
just what happens when girls are together as a
Mm-hmm.
group, they learn to be more confident about themselves.
Right.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
put the microphone in front of them from day one, so they don't get away from
Mm-hmm.
that. Because the microphone can be very challenging and very scary, but they learn
Mm-hmm.
to communicate.
Mhm.
They have to talk through a microphone. So talking to that
Mhm.
microphone, also mentoring people out there like Miss California. She'll be 2023. She
Oh,
will be
wow.
there as one of the judges, as well as she's been working with the girls. So
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
she walks with them and gets them comfortable with that mic, and it kind of works. She's close to their age, so to
Mhm.
speak. So
Mhm.
the more we get people involved, the
That's
better
right.
it is for the girls. The more
Yes.
comfortable.
Yes.
That's why we want a long process. It's a process, so it's not easy.
Mhm.
But you'll be
Mhm.
interested to see how they will start off as caterpillars and they blossom in the butterfly.
Wow.
Mhm.
It'd be wonderful to see that. But
Mhm.
again, it's a process and it does take a lot of time.
I'm
And
sure it does. Yeah.
and Marsha, the one thing about it is I've had the pleasure of being involved in the entertainment industry since, as you know, since I was a little boy. And it's all about just finding your comfortable space. You
Hmm.
have to be confident. And these
Mhm.
young ladies, they don't really know, some of them may not know just how powerful they are on the
Mhm.
presentation side, because you just
Mhm.
have to kind of key in on a few people out there in the audience that you connect with. Maybe they're wearing a dress or whatever, the same color, or a suit the same color as you, and you key into that person, and you have that comfort level,
Mhm.
as well as all of the other wonderful things that you're teaching and pouring upon them. That's just a wonderful thing. And
Yeah.
when you talk about, you know children serve, and it's
Yes. Yes.
DCFS, you're looking at things they work on with parents and youth and caregivers. This is actually a child protection hotline that is directly connected to DCFS. And there are some wonderful things. But these programs that you do, you are actually aggregating youth from what area? How do children become a part of DCFS?
Basically, it comes through a hotline. Everything that we do comes from a referral. So
Mm,
when somebody calls the
Mhm.
hotline and then the call is taken in, after the call is taken in, we go directly to, that's a call center. They determine whether or not it's something that we need to investigate and evaluate out. Once
mm-hmm.
they decide that it needs to be investigated, then it goes to whatever area the call comes from. There are like 15
Excellent.
offices with DCFS, and they
Wow.
all have ER programs where those workers go out and they go into community and they determine whether or not that family needs help. And if they
Mhm.
are, sometimes what we're trying to do with the department is that we want to make it where we're not, all the time we go out into homes, we're not detaining children. We
Right.
want to
Mhm.
fix that whatever some of the issues that are going on, especially in the African American and brown communities,
Yes,
we
ma'am.
have a tendency, the majority of our calls come in, they're from that population. And what we want to do is some of those calls don't need to be necessarily decent that's involved. So we refer out, we
Ah.
Mhm.
talk about programs that they can come in. And again, this is where one of my programs come in. If the children are not involved with activities, and sometimes it's hard due to the fact that, maybe they're not financially able, there are programs out there that they can be linked to where they can
Mm-hmm.
get involved with activities and programs. And
Mm-hmm.
again, they don't, just like when it comes to abuse and neglect, if it's alcoholism or drugs or whatever, we have programs where the food insecurities. There are programs and people that we deal with in the community that we can link them services so they don't have to have our involvement. The goal is to get them in and not have them, be long-term customers. We want to keep children in homes. We don't want to keep detaining and they become foster care
Mhm.
where they are long-term. Like the girls that I
Mm-hmm.
deal with, they may be
Mhm.
long-term. They've been in the system for a long term. So therefore,
Mm-hmm.
it's up to us as a department to make sure the services and programs that they're
Mhm.
involved with so that they can continue to be whole. Because as you might know, children that are in foster care for a long length of time, that's trauma, that's all kind of things. So we
Mhm.
want
Mm-hmm.
to we want to change that, the image that we have department to the community, as well
Mm-hmm.
as we want to make sure the girls and children that we are under our supervision, we are well rounded, they have services for them.
So
Mhm.
when you talking about DCFS as the Department of Children and Family Services,
Hmm.
that's with the County of Los Angeles. Every state has a similar DCFS situation. So we've got viewers from all around the world. And matter of fact, we got to say hello to Carrie and AC Cruz and Elvira. Thank you for all of our viewers out there. We normally have more people. Hey, Carrie's on, and we really want people to know, you know, if you are having family problems, if you're having issues, contact your family and children's
Mhm.
services in your area. There's help, there's programs,
Mhm.
and again, we have Miss Marsha Morton with us. She is with the Department of Children and Family Services here in Los Angeles. She's also creator and founder of the Inner Beauty Pageant, and This is just a wonderful thing. How do you also get into, because I'm in the process, Lord help me, pray for me. I'm trying to establish the Rippy Foundation, where I'll be working with at-risk youth, senior citizens, veterans, and probably orphans. I'll probably be working through some orphanages, and I'm working, and my colleague is working on various programs and things like that to teach skill sets. My dear friend of mine, he's a tailor to the stars. A lot of the young ladies, instead of just putting on these beautiful dresses, my colleague and my resources will teach them how to be a tailor, how to be a designer. So then we're looking at the County of Los Angeles, maybe partnering with the Rippy Foundation, and I can bring people in like James Andrew Luna, Tailor to the Stars, and be able to have him get a bank of sewing machines and teach these girls step by step how to sew, how to hem a skirt. And once they get that feeling, they get that passion, now they're on a career path.
That's correct. That is wonderful, Ronnie. And I think that's a wonderful opportunity that you want to give our girls. And yes, there is a connection, that we can talk with people that work with our department and work with you, as well as my program. And again, we just have to make the connection. That's the whole thing, the glue.
We're connected now. Now we're connected. We connected now.
Yes. So yes, and again, this is going to be a wonderful opportunity. It's going to be a lot of people out there, good networking, continue to network, and we'll go from there. Yeah, we can do all those things. I just think
maybe, you know what? Maybe one of your top pageant girls, well, we're getting ready to have a big, huge fashion show on November 9th in Brea, California. James is putting on something called the Coat of Arms. It's a military fashion show. We're going to be raising funds for our military, our active duty military, and our veterans. But it's going to be a military style inspired fashion show. So we're going to have our models and things like that. So there might be a way for us to kind of, have some of your young ladies see this, because it's going to be a night, live entertainment, VIP, red carpet. Yeah,
love that.
Info.
Well, I'm glad we made the connection. Like again, I met him through a sushi event, and again we had our kids there. Myself and my manager at 50 were there, and that's how we got together and we changed numbers and go from there. It's just so much. Again, that's what we want to do. We want to create opportunities for our kids and youth, and this sounds great. We love looking forward to it.
Yeah.
So, Marsha, I have so many questions I want to ask you. But one thing I want to say at the outset is I taught public speaking for, I don't know, many, many years. And one of the things that I always saw made a huge difference for the kids was for them to realize you're not just born a public speaker. It is a skill you can learn just like anything else. So I love that you're putting them from the beginning in front of a microphone to help them understand this is a skill and you can learn it. Because I think when you build their skills, you build their confidence. And that is the best protection that you can give any child.
That's so
is
true.
When you build their confidence like that. So anyway, so the questions I have for you, I know you talked about starting with workshops, and then I guess you're going from there with, helping the girls get the resources that they need, right? So, and let me ask also, is there a complimentary program for the boys? Is there anything like this for the boys?
We are working on one as we speak. As a matter of fact, one of my social workers, that is a male, has been shadowing my program for the last couple of weeks, and he is going to start DCFS with the collaboration of us and the community again, a program for the boys, and hopefully he wants to start it in the first of the year, because we went, that is excellent. So we are looking for collaborators, people that want to work with the boys. Feel free to reach out to me, and I will hook you directly with he will be the program person like I am for that program, and also our managers in the Torrance office that are very supportive of my program.
Do you have a contact number, or that you would like to you would like to be able to put out there, if for people, or about the event? how people can support you and learn more
Okay.
about it? Mm-hmm.
You can come out. You can also contact me, Marsha Morton, at the Department of Children and Family Services. But my telephone number is 213 That's my direct number.
Okay. Not
213
one more time. You said 213.
905
Okay, hold on. Let me get this 905. Uh-huh.
9762. Or you can email me at mortma at dcfs.lacounty.gov.
Mhm.
LAcounty.gov. Okay, so let me repeat this again. So your number is 213-905. Hold on, this something popped up on my screen. Get out of the way. I can't see. 905. Why did this thing do this? Okay, there we go. 905-9762. And it's Mort, MORTMA, at dcfs.lacounty.gov. Correct?
You are correct.
There we go. We're going to put that up there. There we go. That's a wonderful.
Yeah, there it is. I
There we
hope you'll get a lot of people stepping forward for that. Marsha,
And
how many years did you say you've been doing this program?
since 2012, the first one, that's back when I
2012.
had my aha moment back in the day. And then
Ah,
we've been doing it ever
so
since.
so what was that aha moment? What happened exactly that
That led to
had you
this.
going, "Oh, wait a minute." Yeah.
Because at the time I was working on a program. I've been working for over 20 something years with the county. And so I was working at that time with a teen club program. And we
Mhm.
had in our office, we actually had children come in once a week or every other 2 weeks. And we would provide service, activities for the children, food,
Mhm.
fun. We talked about skill set,
Mhm.
financial literacy. We talked about sex education. We did all that stuff back in the day, but in a fun way. We celebrated the
Mhm.
holidays, everything. So at that time, I was already working on programs like this. So when I had saw the situation with the kids in the at the when they were having problems with their clothes, issues, that's when I started thinking about the self esteem. And so
Mhm.
I got together with a church member. So it's a collaboration of people.
Mhm.
She's now retired, Maureen Smalls, which is with South Bay Church of Christ.
Mhm.
She was very instrumental in providing things like the dresses, because the dresses are the one thing
Mhm.
that's a major concern thing. So what
Mhm.
it is that
Mhm.
she said, Marsha, what do you need? Come tell the congregation. So I went to the church, I went to the church, and also somebody from the Department of Children and Family Services and ARA at the time, Tessa Montoya, actually had gone to the church, and we said, look, this is what we need. And so we got all we need dresses. And so the tourist office at that time, I think we collected
Mhm.
over 800 dresses, and those dresses were
Wow.
prices from maybe $15 all the way up to 1,000. I won't forget it. Our A&B coverage room was flooded with dresses, and that's when I
Mhm.
realized, oh my God! So they were such a great. So at that time, that's when I realized, okay, we need the dresses, we need the crown, we need the
Mhm.
sashes, and a lot of the things I funded throughout on my own. I did. Uh,
Mhm.
and so we got our first pageant was at the DCFS office in Torrance. And then
Mhm.
the second year, we went out into the community, the church where we were at, and we got a church that was involved. And the same church, they donated the
Mhm.
dresses, donated the site. And so we had the
Mhm.
site there. And then from that point on, we started to build the workshops. And the workshops have always been the same. August is the month that we always do the workshop and we always do the pageant. It's been annual
Mhm.
since 2012. And
Mhm.
we might bounce around from place to place, because sometimes the churches aren't available. But eventually we always land. And then, like I said, the community
Mhm.
has always been involved. Programs, and so funding everybody. And again, it's a lot of networking, a lot of
Mhm.
knocking on
I
doors,
would think so.
flyers, this and that. Yes.
Where do you keep 800 dresses? For I mean, especially at kind of like short notice. What did you
Like
do?
we've been all over, because we've kept the dresses at the DCFS office in Torrance. We've
Mhm.
had the dresses there for a couple of years.
Mhm.
Currently, the dresses are at one of the church members' house, and we found a
Let me
location.
let me tell you something. That's
Uh-huh.
why the Rippey Foundation getting ready to get moving, Jack. Because see, I would have a special temperature controlled room for these special inbound donations that we're going to be putting back out in the community. We got to talk. We got to
We
talk.
definitely do because currently the dresses are going to be held where the pageant is going to be. It's going to be because we
Mhm.
found a place, a home for them because they've been looking for a home for years.
Right.
But if it's a possibility, because we always get donations and everything, yes, we all always looking for a permanent home. But for right now, they're supposed to be at the church in Paramount,
Mhm.
so we have a location for them now. But yes,
Mar-
it's been a struggle.
Martha, is it true? I mean, and this is just fact. This is not just here in Los Angeles. This is all across the country.
Hmm.
A lot of times cities have properties. There are buildings. Maybe there were certain things that the city had acquired, for whatever reason. The cities have actual structures and buildings and things like that, and they're looking for something positive to come into the community. That's the type of thing that I'm looking for. I'm looking to be able to establish my home in the city of Los Angeles,
Hmm.
my nonprofit, my foundation, and to be able to have these type of services and wonderful things like that that can get out there. These are That's the thing that I'm looking forward to, discussing and learning more about that, and working with you and other community partners. And they have so many different programs, not at just the local level, but at the state level and the federal level, where they're really trying to offset these disparities that have been happening for so many years, and that we have to do better.
Right. Ronnie, you said a very good point because, again, with our offices and all offices with DCFS, we have a community partner meeting that meets once a month.
Hmm.
We have a faith-based program that meets once a month, and so they're headed by our managers. And definitely would like for you, and I'm sure Ed 50, which is the RA in our office, would love to. Well, you already know him, you met him. He already met him. So if you were to come out and we start there, that's where to start. Come to the meetings. You see the the collaboration with the department and the community, and that's where you start the networking and start talking to, because not only is that collaboration with the regional
Hmm.
with our office, but the community. But I think this particular a monthly program, they actually meeting. They have like 3 or 4 other offices that meet on that
Hmm.
day, so you'll get a chance to talk with the RA in our office, along with the manager in another office, like 3 other offices. So therefore, you can do a lot of working and networking about your programs with
Yes,
those
ma'am.
different divisions. That makes
And
sense.
I'm excited. One of my dear friends is on, or one of our viewers. Her name is Elvira. She's actually in Poland, but she's in the DCFS office in Poland,
Oh
and
wow!
she does the same exact thing that you do, doing the type of wonderful work. I just think that is just amazing, because she's told me bits and pieces of how these the caseload, and God bless all of you, because it is a lot of work out there. There's a lot of people who need help and mentor and direction, and there and just going to the DCFS website. If you want to dig in, please look at this link. Look at all of the levels of all of just the different things that they do. It's How many people would you say make up the Department of Children and Family Services?
When you talk about just in general, the people that work for the county,
Yeah,
that
yeah, oh yeah,
I can't even imagine. I have no idea, Rodney. I'm assuming because we have like 15 offices and maybe like in our
yeah.
office alone, like 400 people that right off the hand. So you multiply that by 15. I don't know. And some offices are
Yeah.
larger than others, meaning like our Lakewood office is a larger
Hmm.
office. Our office is kind of like Meek Mile. But it's so many because,
Yeah.
again, there's so many facets of the department. I mean, and then also we have so
Yeah.
many collaborations. Department of Mental Health works with us. I mean, uh, they are our major
Wow.
contributors because we work with, because our children families have the mental health component. Therapy is just a major concern to give, to understand. It's just so many collaborators that work with us.
Marsha, I have a colleague, he's a LA Unified School District teacher. And one of the things, I was also part of a group down in Carson called Schools for Friends of School Mental Health. And they were trying to get more mental health workers into the schools because so many youth have just challenges. And it's not, some of it's not them. They're bringing things from home. And a lot of teachers are saying, listen, we're supposed to be teaching, we're not psychologists. And so there are so many things that are going on. How does DCFS work in that area too?
So basically what we do now, and we've been doing this for a while, they have liaisons, people that work for, they're called educational liaisons that deal with DCFS issues. So when cases come in, I get calls all the time from a counselor that works at a particular school that works in our division, like Inglewood. We get a call from them, and that that person would say, look, I have a child that is, was identified as a foster youth or has an open case with DCFS. And so basically what we do is their job is to try to help assist in linking them with activities or programs or preferably therapy in that sense. So therefore they are not alone, because again, most of our cases are coming in, and it's not necessarily because of the abuse of a parent. It's the fact that the kid gets to be a teenager, they get to unruly, I don't want to listen to everything else. We get more calls where it's like, I just can't deal with this kid, come pick them up. But what they don't realize is when you contact us and you call us, that's a referral. And unfortunately, it is a call that you make and it goes to court. And then we have to sustain work against the parent in order to bring them in.
Wow.
And people don't realize that. They think, I'm just going to call them and they're going to pick them up. No. So that's why it's so important for families to understand and it's hard because our world is very difficult. And that's what we're trying to do on our end, is to try to resolve the issues, make sure they connect with mental health services, make sure that they get therapy, so we don't have to bring them in. But we want to be the last straw when we have kids that have mental health concerns, when they're unruly, because we get a lot of cases going like, why was this case open? The mom didn't do anything wrong, the kid was just acting up. Well, then what do you do with the kid? Then the parent, we just call us. I said, no, you don't want to call us. I help you out. No, let me give you some referrals. Try to work it out this way. Let us be your last resort. And if the school has to call us, the schools need to, and they work with us. We're trying to do something in our office, and I know my manager is, to work more due diligence with the schools, so that when the calls come in, they have a better understanding. Because a lot of our parents are calling us. The school is calling us. The school is calling us saying, well, the kids, no, you guys need to handle that. That's not an issue where the department needs to be involved. We need to just make better choices and give the families better choices and resources, so they don't have petitions against them. We need to do better.
Marsha, what trend are you seeing from all these years that you've been doing this? What trend are you seeing with how what kind of services are needed has changed?
I see the changes. The trends that I see more now than anything else is that for mental health, just like what you're saying, we're bringing in too many children that are teenagers when parents are not able to handle the behaviors. And then we're seeing that they're calling us to come remove the kid as saying, okay, I don't want to deal with it anymore. But at the same time, and then the kid is in the system, especially at 15, 16, and 17, they've already lived most of their life out of the system. And now they have to navigate in a system that they don't know and understand. It becomes very challenging for them and hard for them. And some of the challenges that we also have, we do have an AB-12 program that works with kids 18 to 21, right? How many people are actually utilizing that program? We have a lot of kids that are, but we have a lot of kids that are not utilizing that program. When trends, meaning that we're still kids are leaving foster care, but they're not equipped to be adults. The trend, what we need to understand is
You
we
talk,
want to.
Martha, you talking about kids aging out of foster care.
Yes, that's a
Right.
trend. That's a concern because
Mhm.
they
Right.
turn 18 and 21. Some of them don't take it. I know because I have kids on my caseload that will not take advantage of the services that we have for them. And by the
Mhm.
time they
Mhm.
want to take advantage of it, it's 21, and they have to leave the system. And so we need
Mhm.
to better understand and equip. Now we can lead them to the services, and they can still. But I
Mhm.
think we need to show a better understanding, and it's hard to get the
Mhm.
kids to understand once we're gone, that's it. But
Mhm.
look at your own situation, your parent, your children. Can you
Right.
imagine telling your 18, okay, you're out of here? Oh, when you turn 21, okay, I'm sorry, shut the door,
Yeah.
you can't come back. They don't
Yeah.
have anybody else to talk to. After they turn 20, a lot of these kids don't have family. So
You
when
you
21,
know,
they we
I was
return
just
them to
thinking
the
how
streets.
traumatic that is. Just
Yes.
to,
and Martha,
suddenly at that moment in your life when you're already,
mhm.
and your behavioral problems, I guess, are a symptom of what's already going on inside you. And then you hit that place, and all of a sudden, all your support goes away.
True.
Martha, is
Yeah.
it true when you look at, I'm just saying, parents of my generation,
Hmm.
parents then had a whole different, parenting style than the new generation of parents. The logic, and a lot of these parents nowadays, from what I've been hearing from resources, they're saying a lot of the behavioral problems that the children have are because of this new generation of parents. And
Hmm.
they don't have the patience and they don't have the understanding that parents had years ago. And so when you start talking about youth who are turning 18 and they're aging out of foster care, I have a gentleman that I know out of Riverside. One of the things that his whole plan, his whole real estate plan, is to help youth who are aging out of foster care to have their own home, to
Mm.
start building them long-term stability. And so, and
Yes.
then I'm working with people on the education side because the youth need to have a certification. They need to be able to have sustainable wages so that they can have a job that would sustain them so they don't have to struggle.
You
Mhm.
correct. And what you need to understand is let's talk about the times, like you talk about the trends and times. Back in the day, IOP, that's Independent Living Studies, the services that we give to our older, because at the beginning when I started, we were aging them out at 18. Now we're aging them out a lot fat. Well, you can stay until you're 21. The
Mhm.
problem is that when it comes to how kids learn and study and what they believe, really listen. I listen to a lot of trends. The trend is back in the day, because we're college educated people. In order to be a social worker, you have to have a certain level of degree, right? But we can't expect everybody to fit into that
No,
Mhm.
right.
right.
And
Mhm.
that's where the difference the shifts start to change. Because if you look at millennials nowadays, they're not necessarily looking at uh, their parents' way of life, meaning that they don't necessarily want to go to college 4 years and everything else. These children says, "Well, I want to have my YouTube brand. I want to have my own. I'm an
Mhm.
influencer. I'm back in the
Yeah.
day, everybody want to be a rapper, but they're not following traditional behavior. And we have the department because back in the day, it used to be a time that you couldn't. Oh no, you can't get on social media. It was like it was like a taboo type of situation back in the day.
Yeah.
I remember when the computers back in the day, I started when computers when the system started to come up. There were people that said, "I'm not going to use the system. I'm quit." I mean, trust and believe they were. So you
Mhm.
think about how people were thinking then, and now you look at the life today, and you got people going like, "Okay, well, I want you to go to school, get a 4 year degree, blah blah." No, I'm not doing that. And so
Mhm.
you have the trend has to change. You have to change with the times and understand kids, and I've been doing this for years. Kids are not gonna do like you said. You want to do a program where kids know how to learn how to sew? Yes, that's a plus. You want to do a program? I took the kids actually learned how to do handbags 3 weeks ago. We took them
Mhm.
downtown to a factory and they made their own handbags. My
Mhm.
point is give them opportunities and things to start thinking about because maybe that'll spark something in their head they want to do.
Mhm.
We have to start
Mhm.
forgetting about the old and don't get me wrong, we're gonna need doctors and lawyers and everything else. But if you're looking at a population of kids that are now brought up on internet and everything that goes on it, they are an IG technology. We have to conform with the time. We cannot be, and that's one thing about, we have to be consistent. And sometimes it's hard for a agency like ours. We've done better, but we're going to have to provide services and programs that are not always as traditional as what we've been doing for years.
Mm-hmm. So, and that at the very least, that's going to mean that you need more resources like computers and, tech things that they can come in and learn.
Yes, because that way it gives them an opportunity to follow. It puts us in the way it is, because, and don't get me wrong, there are kids that are still getting degrees in colleges. I did the route of Black colleges and everything. I love it. I wouldn't change it for the world. It got me where I am today. So, but we have to think in terms of how children think in 2024.
Right.
And once we start to continue to think about the way they think, and then provide funding and programs that will be beneficial. So we need to start and they need to start thinking like my kids are starting on this program at 12 and 13. That's when they need to be talking at 12 and 13. What do you want to do when you get older? They go like, what do you, I got time? No, you don't. You don't tell them that, but you want to encourage them to start thinking about, plant that seed. That's what we want to do.
Yeah. Do you have tech companies who are willing to step up and partner with you to help provide some of those things?
That might be on the IOP level. See, I'm on the lowest level as a social worker. I don't know. So I don't know what agencies have wanted to work with the department as a whole. But I do know I am interested as a creator of my program to work with other companies that want to work, because I want to continue throughout the month. The thing about it with Inner Beauty, I start playing in Inner Beauty right now. My head is already planned for 2025. But I would like to run this on a monthly basis. And when I run it on a monthly basis, that means that I'll be able to collaborate with people, and then they'll have a place where we can come in and talk about things and still continue to collaborate. Because the goal for me is to have that. Yes.
You want to be able to have an ongoing program.
Yes.
And see, I'm in the process right now of I'm actually putting in a grant right now for capacity building. And so I'm looking at being able to provide those type of, and be a community partner, community service partner for organizations, as I'm actually going to have services of my own, but I want to network in, because there's like, for an example, me and a colleague, we own a radio station that is constantly streaming, but we actually took youth and we actually made them correspondents. So we are like your high school. Imagine your high school newspaper. Remember, you had your high school newspaper?
Yes, I remember.
Well, we put them on steroids. We literally could take young people and take them through our boot camp of broadcast and teach them how to be broadcast correspondents. And we have had students go through our program and go into communications. They went into study. They went off to college prepared.
Can you I need to know more about that, because we talk.
Oh, we can talk about that offline. That is no problem. But
I was going to say, I think y'all have a lot to talk about.
And everybody, this is Miss Marsha Morton. She is with the Department of Children and Family Services here with the County of Los Angeles. Been there many years, working and changing the lives of young people and families and caregivers. And these are the angels that you don't see that are working behind the scenes. And so thank you.
Thank you for the knowledge. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So since it has been, several years that you've done this, obviously you've had girls that were in this program at the beginning and who have probably aged out now. So what kind of difference can you see that this has made for them?
Well, I will say this much. I've had girls that gone on to college and got their degrees, and one is a nurse, and some currently are actually in school. So and they made some type of a change in their life. So I do think about it is because we are these, but they don't always call me and say, "Hi, how we doing?" I have more of my kids on my caseload calling me saying that they've done well. Like one that was a police officer. I've had him since he was 10 years old, and he wanted to be. I just can tell you his story. You wouldn't mind.
Sure.
He wanted to be. When I met him, I was working with his older brother, but I was working with him, and I remember him always wanting to be a police officer. And I used to ask him at 10, I said, well, what do you want to do with your life? He says, well, he would always look at the helicopters in his area that were flying around with the police. He said, I want to be a police officer, and I want to be, I want to get on a helicopter. I want to fly a helicopter. Now, that was him at 10. Okay. And I saw his brother emancipate out, and he graduated from high school and moved on. So I worked with him at 10, all the way up till he turned 18. 17 years old, because I knew what his passion was. I got him involved with the program for boys over there at the 77th Street station has a program for kids. I don't know if they still have it for boys. And I got him involved with that program. He was in there, and they would mentor him. He would actually, I remember him, he was so excited about being a part of the police station, because he actually got a chance to go in, and they gave him a little uniform, and they sit him behind the desk, and he would take calls. And I remember something so funny. I actually walk into the station, because we have to see our kids once a month, right? So I walk into the station, and I say to him, I said, where's blah, blah, blah. And they go, you mean officer what? I said, no, I'm not looking for an officer. I'm just looking for my kid. No, you mean officer so-and-so. So I look over there, he's over there sitting behind the desk with his little uniform, and he's only 16 years old, and he's taking the calls. And I was so proud at the time. I said, oh, look at him. And then let's fast forward anymore. So I had him in programs. I had him going to a program out there in Pasadena that was ran by police officers, and he would have to go out there once a month. Quality of life program. He had to keep his grades up because they were giving scholarships out. I remember, but at the time he was doing swim lessons and all this other stuff. I said, no, but you going out here once a month. It's only once a month. You need to go out there. So he went out there, and he met these other people that police officers that kind of wrapped themselves around him. Let him go to the stations. And they toured the stations and everything. So he got all this firsthand knowledge. Coming into what he wanted to do. And as he finished, he started, and I just remember he finished high school, and then he graduated, and then he wanted to he went to Dominguez Hill. So he went to Dominguez Hill. No, he did Dominguez Hills no, he did. I'm sorry. He did.
Graduate.
Yeah. Well, he did junior college. Then he went to college 4 years. And then he graduated from Long Beach. But here's the thing. He never stopped wanting to be a police officer. And by that time, I had mentored so many people around him, so many programs that were working with him. And then he said toward the end, when he graduated from college, because he showed me the pictures, he was so happy. He was now looking for careers. So the FBI wanted to hire him. LAPD wanted to hire him. Sheriff's Department and everything else. So he was going out for all that. So he chose the LAPD. So he chose LAPD, and he went out, and I remember that, he did the whole program, because I remember I think he emancipated from the system. But then he turns around, oh my God. So he emancipates from the system. He goes into the academy, and he graduates, and I'm there to watch him graduate from the LAPD. And he has now currently been an officer since 2000 and he's 20 since 2015, 16, 17. He's been an officer, and he's been a very advocate of DCFS and taking advantage of all the services that we have to do, because he did. And now he has his own house. He has his own car and everything else. He is doing extremely well. And I'm so proud of him. And like I said, I followed him from the kid to where he is today, providing them with services, even whatever they wanted to do, supporting them in what they want to do. And so that's the thing about it. So you support them in what they wanted to do. I had a girl that actually went out, she did a pageant, the actual Miss California pageant. She didn't win, but because she was involved with my thing, I actually supported her, and I got her in the dress and everything so that she could be a little Miss so-and-so. But I gave her that opportunity.
Yeah.
Girls that that are going on to college, I provided computers for them. So just the support that they get from
Wonderful.
us,
Wonderful.
throughout
Yeah.
the years and everything
Yeah.
else. And sometimes they come back, but
These
some
so
of the
these
time,
are all these are all the companies and things. So I hear
Mhm.
all of these different things from, opportunities, job sourcing, products, things that can be poured into these young people's lives, and
Mhm.
we support partners to DCFS, and that is just wonderful. I just,
Mhm.
I can't. And again, thank you for giving me the opportunity to be master of ceremonies again. It's coming up, everybody. This is Miss Marsha Morton. She is the creative founder of the Inner Beauty Pageant. I'm going to be there as the host and having a little fun with all these magnificent young ladies. And I'm just going to be there to root them on and to cheer for them. And this is, I mean, everybody needs a lift up, and
Mhm.
that is what
Mhm.
the Department of Children and Family Services does. And again, just fantastic. If you and again, Miss Marsha Morton, she's a multi-year children's social worker, and doing great things here in the Department of Los at DCFS and County of Los Angeles. So take
Okay,
what
I
thank
have
you.
one more question. One more
Yeah.
question.
yep.
Because we've got about 10 minutes left, not quite 10 minutes. So, Marsha, how do you approach things for kids who don't know what they want to do? I know you want to support them too, but how do you do that when they don't know what they want to do?
You surround them with opportunities that's out there. The more you
Mhm.
provide, give them, the more they give back. Because you're not gonna know. They're not gonna know. So
Mhm.
just like I'm gonna say we had a Chef Jody, that was at the Mitsubishi
Yep.
thing. She did a presentation with
Yep.
sushi and spring rolls and fried rice. Now we got kids that, here's
Mhm.
the thing. I have
Mashubi.
I,
Mashubi. That's what they call it. Mashubi.
with Shuby. Okay. So
Yep.
when she did her presentation the other day with the girls, there were girls that like to cook. So sometimes it just takes a spark. They might not know what they want to do, but if they like
Mhm.
something, you take that and you
Mhm.
spin that into a hobby, or you spin that into a
Mhm.
possible future. And they
Mhm.
enjoyed that. And some of them took maybe information down because she's good about maybe communicating with them, or wanting to, or their parents, and said, look, I would like to know more. That's how
Mhm.
we do it. So we kind of give them an
Mhm.
opportunity. You put it in front of them, and then let them decide. And again,
Right.
that's just how it goes. And again,
Yeah.
it's different. This is the world we
And
live in.
yeah, and then you're just giving them the opportunities after that to keep developing those skills so that they have a wide array of choices
Yes.
Yep.
with what they can do with those skills.
That's
Yes.
where I met Marsha.
Mhm.
I was a celebrity guest chef at Mashubi Con. And so Mashubi is like you would say, like egg roll or spring rolls.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mhm. Love
and
spring roll.
they have all of these whole variety, and they brought in the best sushi chefs from the whole area.
Mm-hmm.
And they had the
Wow.
young ladies there and the young boys making these spring rolls to entice them to become sushi chefs. What do you get?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, but we were making, and we had all of this delicious mashubi, and I was there, and they had vendors, and it was such a wonderful thing. They did that in the city of Garden Grove. I think they're coming around again. They're going to probably have Mashubi Con again, and so if you
Mm.
people love great, great, egg rolls and spring rolls, you have to come to Mashubi Con.
Y'all are
Uh,
making me hungry.
oh yeah. Oh, I wish I would have. I wish I forgot. I could have pulled up so many pictures of that. Oh my goodness, amazing.
Marsha,
Yep.
I love, 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 love what you're doing. And it's very obvious that you really care about and love those kids. How many volunteers does it take for you to pull around you to be able to put on something like this pageant?
Oh my God, there's so many people involved. I'm gonna say there's so many
Mm.
activities and programs and people that are involved. I'm thinking I'm working with this program alone. I'm working
Oh
different
no. Oh, there she
different
is.
those are 15 different people that are
Mhm.
Mhm.
that have companies and communities. I mean, just like you're dealing with chefs, you're dealing with
Mhm.
companies that uh, community partners that want to donate their time, private donors. And then you have the church that has their own congregation and their own people that are involved. Then you have DCFS. We have like 10 or 15 workers that are working with the department that are working directly with my program. Then you're dealing with the managers. I mean, because there's all everything's done by a certain thing. I mean, if it's money that's coming from our department or different it has to be done a certain way. So I have to keep, I wear so many hats, but I'm going to say maybe 25, 30, maybe 100, 200, 300 people that are just to put together a 5-week program. But again, like I said, there's so many agencies that work with us that are donating their time and their passion.
And I love knowing that the community can understand that there is a way that they can plug in. There's something that they can do already. They don't have to reinvent the wheel or come up with something themselves, or, just go down to your local office and see what's going on and see how you can plug into it.
And support. Yes.
Right. How you can support them. So, Marsha, I know there's going to be people out there who are watching this and they're going to say, we need that here. We need to start that here. What would you say to those people? How should they get started?
It's all with an idea. And again, if you have the support from your community, you have your support from your church, you have the support from it starts with an idea. So you come up with the idea and you find the people that support that idea. So, if you are a worker, if you just, like I say, it depends on where you are in your life and what you want to do. I'm looking at retirement in the future. I'm hoping to take this beyond my retirement. But it all decides with a spark and your support of your people. If you're in the church, talk to your church, your pastor, your congregation about this. If you're dealing with a community, if you're working by DCFS, it's a whole different ballgame. We have what's supportive for me is my office. Torrance has been extremely supportive. I couldn't do it without him. I had a meeting on Friday. I told him, I said, I can't do this without you. Oh, that's not true. I said, no, I'm only one person.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I have to have the support of the community. I have the support of everybody.
Oh, yeah.
That's the only way you can survive. I mean, I do a lot on my own, but I have a great support team. That's starting with the department, my office, with the church that I'm working with the community partners I'm working with.
Right. So you can never have enough donations. You can never have enough product, in-kind products and things like that. And these are things that there's certain corporations and things, they have so much surplus of things, and programs like yours are the perfect home. That's what I'm planning. Like I said, through the Rippey Foundation, I want to aggregate these type of things because I have an enormous database of contacts. I have an enormous database of contacts, and meeting people when you find companies and products and things like that, they need a good home and they need a good place where these things will be put to good use. Young people need them, the community needs them, and that's what it's all about.
And there's always, every community has service organizations that are always looking for worthy projects to support. So, like the Rippey Foundation. So, but women's clubs across America and, Kiwanis, other organizations. So I would say definitely not just, I do think it's great to go look at your church first. I'm a firm believer in the churches stepping up and helping in the community, but also go look at those service organizations, see where you can get help there. Senior citizen centers, schools,
And then they can just Google, get on there and Google services in my area, and then go from there.
Yes,
you'll find.
I'm still old enough that I don't think of that first.
No.
Wow.
Oh, that's
well,
great.
That's wonderful.
Fantastic.
Well, I just have to tell you, we've had different comments and different people saying different things. Carrie says, I bet you the young man you were talking about is an excellent police officer because he had that passion from way, way, way back. So thank you, Carrie, for that. Elvira, she's excited because the same thing that you're doing, that's what she does way over but on the other side of the world, and she's over there, and it's just wonderful that all these different people. And thank you, we really appreciate all the wonderful, nice comments and AC
Mhm.
Cruz, and thank you so much for everybody. And we got 2 minutes left. If there's one thing, Marsha, that you would like to say, what would it be to the powers that be, local city governments,
Mhm.
hopefully the next president that's coming? What can they do more to support DCFS?
I think I'm going to always say funding, money. We're always looking for money, but again, programs that are going to uplift the youth that are in the system that have
Mhm.
that the gavel went down and said, you are now a foster youth until you turn 21 years old. Supporting services that are in place for these children that are no cost to them. Continue. I know we're doing a decent job, but we can do a little better. And also making sure that we are looking at listening to what the youth want today versus
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
what they wanted 20 years ago.
Mhm. Right.
Yeah.
Right. I
We'll be
agree.
out bringing highlights back
Excuse
to
me.
this Way Network and the chat session. Hopefully, we can do a follow-up interview with you post the pageant
I,
and have some really
yes, I want to see pictures from the
Yeah.
pageant. That's what I want to see.
Well,
yeah.
Next time you come on, bring the pictures.
I will. We got approval from our management from court to do the picture. So yes, we can definitely do
Mhm.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, and
That's
we do
fantastic.
understand those children are in a protected status. So some of the things you have to, everything's got to be approved because you just can't pop them out there. And yeah,
I
so we,
understand. You're protecting privacy and, so,
yeah,
but I do
yeah.
know sometimes you can take a picture from the back,
right.
where their
No,
faces aren't showing, but yeah.
but we're good, guys, because we've got approval. It's just certain guidelines that we have to follow, and that'd be my responsibility to make sure. But no, the pictures that I give
Right.
you guys, they'll be good.
All
Oh,
right.
wonderful. I can't wait to see those. That's going to be
Well,
fantastic.
well, everybody, we've had Miss Marsha Morton on. You've been watching the chat session here on the This Way Network. Continued success to you. Again, one more time, she is the creator and founder of the Inner Beauty Pageant, Miss Marsha Morton. God bless you. Thank you for all
Thank
the
you.
hard work you do, all your partnerships, and thank you.
Thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate you. I can't do the work without everybody. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Marsha, for being here. And everybody out there watching us on the This Way Network, thanks for joining us today. And y'all, be of good courage. God is with us, and we aren't alone.
That's
Bye,
right.
everybody.
Take
Bye.
care.
Take
Bye
care.
bye. Have a
Bye.
blessed day, everybody, and have a great week.
Right.
See you next time.